You are quite distracting, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are we doing?
We're quart. If Qunari forces maneuver right, we're hoping to get the Vince fighting the Venet. That should buy Ole some time to get it nice.
Your worship, sir.
Something like that.
Back, yeah? Always good.
I'd like to know more about you, now that you're comfortable.
Suppose. It's embarrassing enough now, may as well.
I think that after our rooftop chat, I get why you're not like other elves.
I get it, right? Don't care. Can we just drop it? If you say.
It's good to see you.
They should have been born together, but instead they were bound by light.
What can I do for you?
Far be it for me to suggest a training adjustment.
I expected ruins.
They were. As you see, the Inquisition has not been idle.
Would it be possible to meet the Herald before we return to Ghislaine?
My dear Laurent, for you, anything. Allow me to present Inquisitor Trevelyan.
Your worship, you do us great honor.
Inquisitor, this is my dear Bastien's sister, Grand Cleric Marceline, and his son, Duke Laurent of the Council of Heralds.
Madame de Fer has told us what great trials you faced, trying to save my poor brother's life.
The Maker called my father to his side. It was valiant of you to champion him in his final hours.
If only I'd been able to save Bastien.
The Circle of Magi told Bastien many years ago that his illness was incurable. It was simply his time.
Would you mind waiting for me in the chapel, my dears? The Inquisitor and I have business to discuss.
It has been our very great pleasure, Herald.
This has been quite the triumph, hasn't it? They just adore you.
Duke Bastien's family seem quite pleasant.
Ordinarily, I would have warned you that Marceline has the temper of a hungry vulture, but she's quite taken with you. Laurent is a dear, almost as pious as his aunt, and new to a seat of great power in the Empire. And Marceline is one of the strongest voices among the Grand Clerics. Now they will both come to us for advice. The Inquisition is truly a power now, and there's no telling how far its influence will reach. But enough of this talk. Here, I have something for you. I commissioned this ring from the Formari, the greatest enchanters in all Thedas, for you.
This is a generous gift. Thank you, Vivienne.
Once it was customary for the circles to craft enchantments for their staunchest friends and allies. And you have been both. I must go to see my guests now. Another time, darling.
If you've got questions, I'm your dwarf.
Tell me the truth, Varric. Do you actually think I was sent by Andraste?
Shit. This is going to be awkward. I guess I do. Either you're guided by the hand of some higher power, or you have the worst luck.
I wouldn't have pegged you as an Andrastian.
It's a great story. It's got heroism, love, betrayal, and random musical numbers. What's not to like? I don't have a nug in this race. It could be bullshit, it could be true. I'll never know. But I like the idea that maybe you could save the world with a song.
That's not a reason to believe in me. It might actually be the opposite.
Look at all the shit that's happened to you. You were saved from the explosion that leveled a mountaintop and fell out of the Fade. You traveled through time, faced down one of the ancient magisters who started the Blights, had a mountain fall on you, and lived. Single-handedly saved the Orlesian Empire. One of those things would be impossible. All of them together? That's a miracle.
Varric, it's just a coincidence. It's not destiny. I'm not some chosen one.
You can keep saying that. Meanwhile, I'm going to stand watch in case it starts raining cows or something. Need something? Or are you just here to admire the dwarf?
Can I ask...
You want to talk about me? Something you wanted to talk about?
I've read your...
That's a pretty common reaction.
Something you need?
My dear, did you need me for something? I always have time for you, my dear. I always have time for you, my dear. That Corypheus, he's a snake. Conclave, Haven.
We need to head to Adamant Fortress as soon as possible. If there's a chance we can stop Corypheus from destroying the Wardens, we can't let it slip away.
What do you think we'll uncover in Adamant?
Nothing good. Hearing the Warden's plan was bad enough. Now we'll see it firsthand. Best case, we find a nightmare. Worst, we'll find a nightmare, then die painfully. I still can't believe what they're doing. I thought I understood the Order.
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was... not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
The past isn't always pleasant. Sometimes you have to let go and move on.
I can't forget what happened, but it led me here. I can make that mean something. Anyway, I meant to thank you, not trouble you further. You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
Honestly, I'm terrified. So many people depend on us, on me. Corypheus is still out there.
We've made great strides. Do not doubt yourself, or the Inquisition just yet. If there's anything I can do, you have only to ask. I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Is there anything I should know?
Creating Inquisition footholds outside Skyhold has strengthened our reputation. People view us as a stabilizing force. We've received a number of recruits eager to pledge themselves to our cause.
That's all for now.
Another...
Wandering the gardens, I see.
I'd like to know more about...
If you have questions, then I'll... Until next. Wandering the gardens, I see.
What...
The elven... I wonder... If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as...
However you...
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor.
Your worship?
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule.
Inquisitor?
Filled with silence. I knew then, and crossed my heart shame.
We reached the palace. Not just...
It's good to see you.
How do you stay so civil with everyone, Josephine?
Bonds of circumstance among the nobility are fickle. Civility is the only constant everyone admires. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know better.
Does it even become a strain sometimes?
Well, it can be trying. There is no shortage of self-regard among the nobility. The game can be wearying, discouraging, and extremely baneful. But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating friends.
One good thing about becoming Inquisitor has been meeting so many different people.
I'm pleased. I imagine we appear a strange bunch to those outside our circle. Mages, Templars, Seekers, and an apostate elf are not often found working in harmony. Or at all.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
Adamant Fortress has stood against the Darkspawn since the time of the Second Blight.
Fortunately for us, that means it was built before the age of modern siege equipment. A good trebuchet will do major damage to those ancient walls. And thanks to our Lady Ambassador...
Lady Cyril of Jadar was pleased to lend the Inquisition her sabers. They've already delivered the trebuchets.
That is the good news.
None of that accounts for the Wardens summoning a giant demon army.
That is the bad news.
The Inquisition forces can breach the gate, but if the Wardens already have their demons...
I found records of Adamant's construction. There are choke points we can use to limit the field of battle.
That's good. We may not be able to defeat them outright. But if we cut off reinforcements, we can carve you a path to Warden Commander Clarel.
Sounds like our best option.
It'll be hard fought, no way around it. But we'll get that gate open.
It's also possible that some wardens may be sympathetic to our cause.
The warriors may be willing to listen to reason, though I doubt they will turn against Clarel directly. The mages, however, are slaves to Corypheus. They will fight to the death.
We've built the siege engines and readied our forces, Inquisitor. Give the word, and we march on Adamant.
Pull back! They're through! All right, Inquisitor. You have your way in. Best make use of it. We'll keep the main host of demons occupied for as long as we can.
It's a worrying lack of specificity there, Commander.
There are more of them than I was hoping, Inquisitor.
You don't say.
Warden Stroud will guard your back. Hawk is with our soldiers on the battlements. She's assisting them until you arrive. There's too much resistance on the walls. Our men on the ladders can't get a foothold. If you can clear out the enemies on the battlements, we'll cover your advance. sacrifice for some insane ritual! Keep your distance!
The Inquisition is here to stop Corel, not to kill wardens. If you fall back, you won't be harmed.
All right. My men will stay back. We want no part of this. Deal with Corel as you must.
Had hoped some of the wardens would listen to reason.
You can press on ahead, Your Worship.